Rightio, so where we left off from the last video, we added a bunch more item movement things like right clicking, splitting stacks, placing one, swapping items, things like that. Now what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to add max stack sizes to all the items. Now it does get a bit mathy, but it's not that bad. It's not hard. If you follow along, then you'll get it. Okay, so first thing we want to do is inside our item class, we want to add a float, and I'll just call this max stack size. And now in all of our items, when we go to our properties, we now have a max stack size value. So I'm just going to set rope to like 35, wood to 20, rock to 15, and iron to 30. So the first thing we want to do is go to our inventory system. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to, when we're adding items to our inventory, we want to check if the slots and the amount we're adding is more than what is enough to fill a slot, basically. So we're just going to add, just to make this easier, we're going to add a float called amount to add, so we can keep track of what has been added and what still needs to be added. And then after we've checked if it's the correct item, we're going to go item.maxStackSize, take inventory, i.amount. So what this will do is give us what we need to fill the slot. So it just takes what will fill a slot off what's already in the slot, and it'll give us a value of what's left. So we're just going to check if that's lower than the amount that needs to be added. And if it is lower than the amount that needs to be added, we're just going to do this here. So we just add it straight away because we don't need to do anything extra. But if we have more that needs to be added to the slot, then we're going to take off that amount to the amount to add. Stack size, take inventory, i.amount. So that'll just take off what needs to be added to amount to add, just to keep track of it, and then we will just set the slot to its max stack size. There we go. And I'm just going to write update inventory under that as well. There we go. Now, that handles slots that already have the item in, filling it up to the top. Now, if we've done all that and we need to find new slots, we've got to do this in here. So underneath here, we're going to add if amount to add is higher, amount to add higher than item.maxStackSize. So if the amount that still needs to be added is higher than what is needed to fill a slot, then we're just going to take that max stack size off amount to add to keep track of it, and then we will set this slot to our item, and then we will set the slot to its max amount to fill that slot in. And if we do have enough, then we're just going to put that in there. And I'm going to add another update inventory after this one. Now, if we run out of inventory space, we're just going to lose items. So just for now, because we don't have dropping yet, I'm just going to add a log in here saying dropped amount to add. So it's just going to tell us that we've dropped whatever we had left over. So this should work. So our inventory, these are going to be very high numbers, so I'm just going to make them a little bit lower. So we'll just do like 145 and then do 75 for that one. It should account for, there we go. So things are still going over. I've missed something. We have to set this one to amount to add, not amount. Otherwise it's just going to fill that last slot with the amount that we were supposed to put in there in the first place. There we go. So now all the slots are filling with their max stack sizes, and we can still add them on top of each other like this. So we can just check if we have lost any items, and it doesn't look like we have. 64 rock, 54 wood, 75 iron, and 75 rope. So that is correct. Now we just got to make it so if we're trying to add them on top of each other, we can't do what I just did there because of their max amounts. So inside of, it'd be n drag item. This is where it gets calculated. So we're just going to, all of this can be the same. It's just here. It's just in this one. So we're going to add an if statement after this. Slot.item.stacks max stack size. Take slot.amount, so what needs to be left. We're going to check if that's higher than what's currently in our drag slot. Then we will just do this same thing here. So if we have enough items in our drag slot to fill the slot, then we will just put it in there and then clear the slot. And if we have more, then we're going to make a new amount to add. We'll go slot.item.max stack size, take slot.amount. So that'll be the amount that needs to be added into the slot and the amount that needs to be taken off our drag slot. So we'll just go amount plus equals amount to add, and then drag slot.amount minus equals amount to add. There we go. So that should be that done as well. So now if we try and add these on top of each other, now it doesn't work. We can fill in that slot, leave us with 4 left. You can see, add that up, put that in there. So now we can't go over our max amounts. Now what we can do is go over our max amounts by right clicking, which we don't want. So we just got to add that feature into our drop one function, which is here. And this one's very simple. We just got an add an and to this. If slot.amount is lower than slot.item.max stack size, so we're checking if it's not at its max amount, then we can just add 1 to it. That's it. We shouldn't have to do anything else. Now, if this one isn't at its max amount, but if I get it to its max amount, we can see we can no longer fill it up with right click. So now we have max stack sizes, where you can click to add them up, right click till it gets to its max, and when we add them from the starter, they won't go over. That's literally it. Didn't take that long. It's just a property under all of our items where we want the max stack size to be. And that's it. Easy as. In the next episode, we're going to work on a hotbar. So you have a hotbar, you can scroll your wheel or press the numbers on your keyboard to swap through what items being selected, and we can select different items. We can shift click to quick move it to our hotbar and back to our inventory. Yeah, so that'll be for the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you in the next one. Radio. See ya.